Welcome to your favorite Tennessee Titans podcast, Tennessee Titans Weekly. Jacques.
Halt.
Jacques.
Halt.
What's up, folks? Good afternoon, good morning, whatever time it is your way. Hello, welcome to the show, folks. Hey, Jacques, we here, man. Hey, we got them Indianapolis Colts coming to town. I know you'll be at the game and everything, man. Hey, should be an interesting game, man. An AFC South rivalry game for sure, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's most deaf, like you said, Colts week on Sunday. So it's gonna be very, very, very interesting to see how if these Titans boys can get a revenge game. We'll see. But
absolutely, man. Absolutely. So
yes,
cool, man. All right.
Got Toya in the building.
What's up, Toya? What's happening? From Cancun. Okay, she was in Cancun. Yep. All right. Awesome. Awesome.
We got Aiden in the building. What's up? We got James in the building. I appreciate you watching the show, brother. We got Stanley with the $10 super chat already.
Early in the game. Hey, Stanley. Hey, what's up with you, good brother? Stanley Wilson.
Boom!
Stanley Wilson in the building early. Hey, Stanley. Hey, bro, we appreciate it, brother. We appreciate it, sir.
Yes, sir. Man. We got King Wood 89. What's cracking with you, brother?
What's up? Yeah, yes, JT is out. Absolutely.
You got William Jones. He said them Seahawks balling right now. Yes, sir.
Yep. WJ, what's good, bro? Yeah.
Most definitely.
For sure, man. For sure.
We got who else? Let me see what we got. We got Tremaine in the building.
Tremaine, what up? What's up, Tremaine? What's good with you, boss? Yes, what's happening, brother? What's happening? What's good, man? What's good, man? We're hoping everybody's having a great Thursday, man, as we get ready for this game and everything. So let's get cracking, man. Hey, what's up, James Rogers? What's good, bro? Hey, he said normally don't catch it live. Hey, we're here with you, brother. We're here, man.
Yes, sir.
We're here.
Welcome.
Here. So, Jacques, looking at this game, man, looking at the Titans, when you look at the fact that, right now the Titans are 0-2 in the division. And on top of that, when you look at the Indianapolis Colts, they just had a victory against the Tampa Bay Bucks. They barely won the game 27-20. Of course, we played the Bucks 2 weeks ago and lost. So the Colts are now 6-5. And you look at the division as well, man. You see the Colts. The Colts are 6-5. And when you look at, they have a 3-game winning streak right now. So they're in second place within our division. And if the playoffs started today, the Colts actually would be in the playoffs as of today. That's weird, man. You know what I mean? I think they would be and folks out there, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. I think they would be like the 6th or the 7th seed. But they'll be in the playoffs. But this is why they play the game. So, Jacques, give us 2 reasons, man, as to how we could beat the Indianapolis Colts on Sunday.
Well, one reason, we at home.
Okay.
We won every home game this year. So that the home field advantages look like it's working very well in our favor. And I think that can very, very, very fare well for us. Another reason we can beat the Colts, defensively, man, I know it's Gardner Minshew. I know he does his thing. But I feel like if the defense can at least hold fort enough, like they did Sunday against Carolina. Now, we know the Colts are way better than Carolina. We know that, okay? We know that for a fact. But I feel like if the defense can show up in a way to where you get pressure on Gardner Minshew and kind of disrupt and keep the game in arm's length and reach. What I mean by that is make it to where you make it easy on your offense. Unfortunately, we have to rely on the defense in order for us to be successful, right? It just is what it is. So we're asking them, hey, you need to score points. You need to stop them off. We get off the field on 3rd down, limit the penalties, put your offense in a position where they can score an easy way and they're not on the field as much defensively. So I think if defensively they can get their stuff together, the offense can kind of just stay for it and be mediocre, get a couple of field goals and maybe a touchdown, you can beat the Colts. What about you, Hawk?
Facts, no paper, man. When I look at the Colts, man. So shout out to everybody again that's in the chat. When I look at the Colts, it's an interesting dynamic here. The Indianapolis Colts offensively has surprisingly done pretty well with Gardner Minshew at quarterback. I've been kind of shocked of how well not so much in performance. I think Gardner Minshew's always done about as good as you can as a backup to a starter, right? I mean, I don't expect him to be some great player, but he doesn't turn the ball over. I think that's what's important here. But when I look at the Colts defense, As you all know, Shaq Leonard got cut. He's no longer with the team. And DeForest Buckner right now is questionable. So I don't know if he'll play or not. I'm not sure. Another guy they had is Grover Stewart. He's suspended. So they got a few guys, even their corner Brent, he's questionable. So they got some injuries right now. The Indianapolis Colts, they do give up points. I think they're like 27th in the league in points as far as their defense. So they give up almost 25 points a game. So though we don't score a lot of points, let me just throw that out there. Okay, we don't. But it's an opportunity for us to score points. And so if we can expose their corners outside of, say, Kenny Moore is, great cover 2 corner for sure. But I do think, if you have Brents out there, if you have Jones out there, you have any of them guys out there, look for D-Hop, look for them guys on the outside to do something overall. I also think, too, when I look at the Colts' run defense, I think Derrick Henry could have a good game against them. Their run defense has been so-so over the last few games. They haven't really played a lot of really good running backs. I know Rashad White played last week. He got banged up during the Colts game. But I do think offensively, this could be a game we could actually score points against the Colts defense. They're not a superb, they don't really stop a lot of teams. They cause turnovers, but they will give up yards. On the opposite side of the Colts, Jonathan Taylor is out. Now, I say that to say because this guy here killed us, man. That's Zach Moss. Zach Moss is top 10 in the league in rushing. So Zach Moss, he's going to be ready, right? But I think, too, man, we understand Zach Moss. We didn't know him at first. I think we know what he's about now, okay? Our defense gained some confidence in our last game. I know it's against Carolina, but I do think we're going to bring the dogs against Zach Moss and to say, hey, Gardner Minshew, we know about you now. You're going to have to beat us. So I think you put the ball in Gardner Minshew's hands, get the ball out of Zach Moss's hands, and I think on offense, push the ball deep. Throw it deep. Get some points on the board. We might have a shot to beat the Colts, man.
Okay. And everybody's in the chat now, so let me see what we got here. And whoever said that the Seahawks are balling, man. Jesus Christ. They are balling. Let's see. Let me see. Mayo man, this might be Will Levis's burner account. Will you be jaw dropping if we win it out 10-7? I don't know about it. Well, hope. Let's see. I know Blaze. What up, Blaze? He says stop the run by far.
Yeah.
Titan. Let me see what we got.
Yeah, put the ball in Gardner's hands.
Tiger.
Put the ball out the running back's hands.
Just finished watching the playoff soccer game from Champ Tigers switching the Clips. All right, nice. Yeah. We'll get to the chop up here in a minute also. So just want to highlight some of our weekly family. Hawk, give us 2 reasons of how the Titans can lose this game.
Well, we can easily lose this game easily. So I'm going to say the reverse as far as scoring points, right? As I mentioned, that's been a struggle for us. The Indianapolis Colts have not had a problem scoring. They're top 10 in the league in points per game. They average almost 25 points a game. And they do that by playing steady. As I mentioned, they're negative. They're +2 in turnovers. So they don't turn the ball over. They play very careful on offense and defense. We are not a flashy team. We're not a team that generates yards and points. We just don't because we struggle up front. We have a young quarterback. We have receivers. So now Traylon Burks will be back. That's my understanding. He's coming back to the game. He'll be playing on Sunday. But I think as well, we could easily lose this game based on the fact that the Indianapolis Colts has one of the best offensive line groups in the league. That's what's helping the Colts. It's their linemen. They're gonna give our defensive line a problem. Can our D-line step up? Can Jeffrey Simmons go up against Quentin Nelson and say, hey, bro, I'm here? Can Danico Archer go against Braden Smith and them guys? Can we go against Rahman, the other tackle on the Colts? The Colts offensive linemen, they're real. And that's what dictates everything for Gardner Minshew to throw the ball to Josh Downs, running Zach Moss, getting the ball to Michael Pittman. That's how we can lose the game. On the defensive side, in my opinion, again, when I look at the Colts, they do cause turnovers. And, this could be an opportunity if we're not careful, with running the football, throwing the ball. I don't so much see us fumbling, but, I can see Will Levis, maybe if he's not careful, he could have 2 or 3 interceptions against this defense. So they're very opportunistic. They're going to blitz. They're going to play cover 2. They're going to be there. So this could be a game of points. It's really going to be based upon who could break out between both teams because both teams are boring to watch, just being honest. But I think the Colts are just more of an assured team, and they could beat the Titans for sure, man. So what about for you, Jacques?
I mean, if that's what you said, man, again, I think if we can't score any points, which the first half of the last week's game was a tale of two halves, right? First half was pretty solid. That second half, we stalled out. We stalled out bad, okay? Couldn't get nothing going, but couldn't convert on third downs. It wasn't good, right? And so I think we would have to start fast. And if we don't start fast, like you said, they score points. That's the problem. They score points. And so with them scoring points, what concerns me is we don't score enough points, right? And defensively, I know you talked about their defense early, secondary not being as strong. But one thing I can say about the Colts defense, they're very disciplined when it comes to cover 2, cover 3, being in zone. They're one of the best zone defenses I've seen in a long time. And they can have the most mediocre players I've ever seen. They can have me and you out there. But for some reason, they're disciplined when it comes to zone. I know Kenny Moore is still out there. So the thing about Will has been getting he's very fortunate. He's been getting very fortunate in these games that he's played where we praise him for the praise, but I also sometimes don't think sometimes we give him enough slap on the hand to be like, hey, son, why were you going it that way? Why were you making that decision? So he's had some opportunities where some balls have been in DB's hands, but dropped, right? That's why you play DB, because you can't play wide receiver. They probably play wide receiver one point in time. They can't catch, so they switch the ball. With the Colts team, with the secondary, they tend to be pretty solid when it comes to zone. So that's another thing. The pressure doesn't concern me as much because I feel like their D-line is okay, if that makes sense. They're not a world beater. They didn't make that. The folks said DeVorest Buckner is questionable, so that's a huge win for us if he doesn't play, if that makes sense, right? On the defensive side of the ball, the secondary has been struggling to the point where they can't get off the field on third downs, and penalties have killed us. Okay, so in this same instance, something Gardner Minshew does very well. He knows how to draw penalties, especially when it comes to the deep ball. Okay, that's another thing that I noticed. And Gardner Minshew has been nice, but to me, he's not a world beater, right? He's not Tom Brady, but for some reason he has the Titans number. So that too, and I believe I have confidence the Titans will stop the run this time. I don't feel like a running back has really went off, but you still have to watch Zach Moss, right? And I think they have enough film on him, but if you don't watch him, Jonathan Taylor didn't do that to us. It was Zach Moss, okay? It was him. It wasn't Jonathan Taylor, okay? Catch us on one of them screens, because one thing we haven't been able to do this year is just stop the screen, right? Yep. So they've watched film on us. So that's my ways of how we can continue to lose, but how we can lose this game.
Gotcha, man. Gotcha. All facts, no paper, man. And just real quick, y'all, again, we appreciate everybody checking us out on the show. We still have more shows to go on Bleacher Report as well, too, for the rest of the month and even going in December. So for those who have not checked us out, check us out on Bleacher Report. We do the pregame, we do the postgame of the games as well. Check us out. It'll be Monday this week, so check us out on Monday. We'll be doing the postgame there. You can follow us on Bleacher Report. And as always, you can always check us out on Instagram at Tennessee Titans Weekly. You can check us out on Twitter at Titans Weekly 24/7. We are in those internet streets, folks. All right, so Jacques. So looking at the Titans, man, I think right now, the Colts, I'm not sure of the point spread, but I know they're the favorite the last I checked. I checked the other day. And so looking at this, man, just say we win, or even if we don't, just say if there's one Titans player that you feel could have a big game versus the Indianapolis Colts, who would you say that would be?
I could say D-Hop.
Okay.
I feel like D-Hop can have a breakout game if they use him right?
Okay.
Yep. I think the chemistry between him, Will Levis, he's connected with D-Hop really fairly fast. So I feel like D-Hop, if he can continue what he's been doing, I feel like he can have a real decent game. What about you?
So I think that's a great pickup. I think, man, when I look at now, I don't know the full status of Buckner. Again, I know Stewart, he's been suspended. So they got, to your point earlier, their front four, they're speedy defense. Okay, Kwity Paye and Ebukam, them guys are speedy guys. They're like the sizes of receivers out there playing DN. So I know the last time we played them, our run game wasn't really, it was so, I guess. But I do think the King could have a big game against the Colts, man. I really do. I think, again, what helped us to win last week, though, he didn't get 20 carries. He got 2 touchdowns. He had over 60 or 70 yards rushing. But what it did, it just kept us balanced. You know what I'm saying? And so that keeps the ball so much, as Will Levis continues to learn in the offensive line. Because when I looked at, the rookie, Jalen Duncan, he didn't do bad. He did pretty well. He did pretty well. So you got young guys, and you look at Peter Skoronski had it pretty good. Now, again, I understand it's Carolina. I get that. But I'm going to tell you something. I think Carolina's front four is just as good as the Colts. I think it's about even, right? So the Panthers suck, but the strength of their team is their front four. So I think the Carolina has their guys are bigger up front. When you look at Derek Brown and those guys, the Colts are not that big up front. They have a lot of speedy guys. So it could be issues as far as the pass rush, but as far as running the ball, I think if Jalen Duncan gets his mind right, Peter Skoronski playing more games, getting better, we may have an opportunity to run against the Colts. So I'm going to say the King. I'm going to put the crown on and say the King. They have a big game against the Colts, man. For real.
Nice.
Yep.
I think it starts with the King. Shoot. I mean, the King, we are still technically a run game. But I agree with that. I most definitely agree with that. So, let me ask you this. Who from the Colts do you think can have a big game? Do you see anybody from the Colts having a big game?
I do, man. I do. It's Josh Downs, man. I think Josh Downs he's scaring me a little bit. Yeah. When I look at Josh Downs, man, it's kind of the T.Y. Hilton thing, right? That's how T.Y. Hilton used to kill. Oh, we got a super chat. We got to get this one first. What we got?
$20. He says, LG, Crit, what up, brother? It is $20. Tighten up, brothers. Quick question, and you can say this question if you like. Any chance Henry stays next year and D-Hop? Yep, we'll start. We'll save that for our chop up for sure. Yes, sir. You want to answer now? Or you want to wait till the chop up? No, we'll save chop up.
Okay,
that'll be our first question. Yep.
All right. LG part 2. Do 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 do.
Boom.
Do 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 do.
Boom.
LG part 2 in the building early. LG part 2. We appreciate it, man. So yes, I'm saying Josh Downs. Josh Downs, he's second on the team in catches. He has 48 catches, 566 yards. Michael Pittman, he's going to do his thing. You know what I'm saying? We're used to Michael Pittman. But speed could be the problem for us, especially with our safeties, right? Our safeties stink. So, looking down deep middle, the last time we played the Colts, we had Kevin Byard, and they still did good. So now we don't have him. Now we got Josh Downs still out there. Josh Downs is who I think could have a big game for the Colts. So if you guys don't know him, he wears number 1. Be careful with Josh Downs. What about you, Jacques?
I'm going to say Gardner Minshew. I'm going to say the person that's going to be throwing to Josh Downs. Like I said, for some reason, Gardner has our number. For some reason, he has the Colts balling, which I don't understand. I'm not no knock to them, but I don't get it, man. I don't freaking get it. I mean, he's been balling since he's been with the Jags. So he did okay last game, but I feel like you said, he's picked up momentum and they score points. They're in the top 10 of the league for scoring points. So I feel like the person that's going to be throwing to Josh Downs is going to have a big game. And the way our secondary is set up right now, I just don't trust them. Okay. And I think it's a trust thing. So I just feel like Bryce Young, the Carolina Panthers was a game you should have won, but also it's a hard eye test because you don't know if you have – it's like a piece of candy, right? You get a bag full of candy, and that candy might be trash, but you might have one good piece of candy out of there, and that one piece was Carolina. And then we go back and we stick our hand in the bag, and is it the same piece of candy that's trash? You're like, damn, okay, it's trash again. So, yeah, I don't trust them. So with our secondary, it just – and the way Christian's playing, I don't know. So I feel like Gardner Minshew is going to have a nice game.
I got you, sir. I got you, brother. I got you. All right, y'all. Well, hey, we got 31 people in the chat. If you have not hit the like button, hit the like button. If you have not subscribed to us, subscribe to us today for sure. Hey, we got great comments, of course, in the comment section. So, Jacques, we're about to get ready for our favorite part of the show, bro. All right, y'all. So, we are at the dinner table for the live chop up. We're going to give you all an opportunity, man, to put the ingredients, put everything on the table, start chopping up some questions for us, man. Hey, throw your questions out there. We'll answer them. We'll answer those. For anyone that gives us a super chat, I don't give a damn who it is. We're going to put your question up front. You know it. All right.
So we promise you LG part 2. So
yep.
we're going to go ahead and answer this question. So, Hawk, do you see us bringing back Derrick Henry and D-Hop next year? Is it a possible? I think D-Hop is already on a 2-year deal, so I think he's
on a 2-year deal. Unless they trade him. They could trade him. You know what I mean? I actually do. I do think they're going to bring them back next year. I do.
Okay.
I think D-Hop, because of the contract, and you need D-Hop. You need D-Hop next year. You know what I'm saying? D-Hop is all right. D-Hop is all right. Now, again, I can understand people saying, well, we need to, move on as far as running back and things like that. But when you look at Derrick Henry's contract, it might just be contractual, where it's kind of like, well, where Derrick Henry might just be, hey, I'm here unless – I think the only way Derrick Henry will probably leave out of here is via a trade. You know what I'm saying? So I want to say about 50-50. I'm going to say this. Derrick Henry will be back, but I do think when the season gets close to starting and there could maybe be an injury onto a team or something, somebody will throw out a trade for Derrick Henry. Then it's on Spears. Can Spears be an every down back? That will be the question at that time. So it depends on Tajay Spears. I would love to have Derrick Henry back for sure, but I think it's going to be contractual where I don't know if he can ask for top dollar as he's getting older. That's just the nature of the game. He's still extremely productive. I think he's more productive than people giving him credit for it too. I've said this for many years. How many years have I said this, Jacques? As he gets older, he's going to decline. That's just the nature of life. But at the end of the day, there's not a lot of good running backs in the league. It really isn't. So I'm going to say yes and yes. What about you, Jacques?
I'll say yes on D-Hop because I know he signed a 2-year deal, and you want to keep him in case you don't get a receiver in the draft, which I think you will. But these days, you need 3 receivers to kind of be successful. So in order to add to the stable, the Derrick Henry thing, I would love to bring him back, but I feel like they want to go in a different direction when it comes to the scheme of the offense. And if you notice, the first time last week, with the Panthers, was his workload was up there, right? And that's kind of the reason why we won the game. But the past couple of games, his carries have went down. So what that's telling me is kind of like, okay, hey, we're trying to figure out what life would look like after Derrick Henry, right? They know it'll look like it's trash, but I would like to keep him. I just don't know. I don't think they're gonna keep him, man. Just because I feel like schematically they want to go in a different direction with the offense, and I think they're looking at, well, Tannehill's not gonna be here next year. We might as well go ahead and get rid of the whole shebang and bring in something new when it comes to this offense. So that's just my opinion about it, man. I would like to keep the king. You know what I mean? It's the king, of course. It's the king, of course. You know what I mean? So
I thought it was really cool last week when Tajay Spears got hit. You could tell Derrick Henry and Tajay Spears are like brothers. Like the King's the big brother, Spears the little brother. Like I think he looks up to the King for sure.
Yeah.
And Derrick Henry was like, bro, I don't like. You rarely see Derrick Henry really get that pissed off. And even I think Derrick Henry's been more vocal this year than I've ever heard him. But he was. So LG, thank you as well, sir. Appreciate the question, bro.
Right. Yeah, appreciate it. Mayo says this game will show if this will truly be our future. I just hope our O-line shows it. The O-line. I'm gonna say about something about the O-line. Went back and watched the game. They were bad, but they didn't do as bad as previous games, if that makes sense, right? They still got Will Levis smacked up a little bit, but they were able to block a little bit better than what they've been able to do, especially with Jalen Duncan at left tackle. So I'm not gonna say you have something, but you might have you something there if he can get some reps in, right? He looks better than Nicholas Petit-Ferrer.
Right.
So
yeah. And I don't know if this game will show if he's truly our future. That takes time. You know what I'm saying? To know, okay, he's our guy 100%. So I wouldn't just say put this one game as, okay, if this game is it or not, I'm not sure. If he does incredible, I still won't be like, oh yeah, that's it. Right. Or if he does terrible, that's it. So it takes time. It takes game. I like Will Levis's poise. I like he's tough. He hangs in there. You could tell he's getting it as he continues to play. So I just expect him just to keep building, man.
Right. I'm with you. I can't judge it off of one game. It has to be hell. You can give me a season. That's that's kind of where I'm at with it. Like, what can you do season for the season? So,
right.
I've started to see a few mock drafts. Trust me, they're better than what the Titans would actually draft. And we always say that Titans Tiger. If you I don't know if you're new to the show, but if you ever watched our draft shows, me and Hawk probably would have had the Titans in the Super Bowl last year. I'm serious, man.
Yeah.
I'm being that serious. Stanley says, what do you guys think the draft would look like if they decide to make Duncan our starting left tackle after this season? Hawk, what direction do you think we would go, say, I mean, this is a hypothetical question.
Mm-hmm.
Say if Duncan does prove that he can, and what I mean by this, he can go up against top-notch talent, right? Not just mediocre right ends or left ends, but I mean and hold up against them. And you got to be, you don't have to be A1, but you at least have to hold your own, if that makes sense.
So Jalen Duncan has 6 games to do this, man.
Yeah, he does.
Woo, 6 games. That's it. So that question that Stanley had, that the word if should be in capital letters. If. So I don't think it's enough time to just say Jalen Duncan is that guy at left tackle. You still draft the left tackle, in my opinion. I don't think it's so he has it. So it's not just like we talked about Will Levis. This in Jalen Duncan, he still has a lot to prove. But just say if he does great or does well for the rest of the season, I still say I'm not okay. I haven't made a solid decision on what I would draft, but as of today, I would probably lean towards left tackle. So if I'm saying that as of today, I still would draft the left tackle, bro.
Man,
right
you getting the left tackle out from Notre Dame. That's just I've been looking at it. I just see it. I just smell it. It looks like it's about to happen. And I just when I'm looking at this whole thing, I would love to get a playmaker. If you look at free agency is not strong with tackles. It's not strong with receiver. So this draft is really we're going to have to really hit on this draft because this free agency is not even looking any good either. So unfortunately, let me say this. I'll answer it like this. If Duncan is a starting left tackle, then I can see Stanley we either go a corner or a receiver to get some help on the offense, or we need to shut down corner. If this happened, if hypothetically, if he was to pan out, I'm gonna play it. If he was to plan out, then I would go that direction. Or if you see some best player available that's on your board at the time, right? So
Yep.
Yeah. So
great question, guys.
Yeah,
great question.
I still think we're gonna go out from Notre Dame. That just if we get that high position, right? So MB says we shouldn't be wasting our time talking about skill positions. Have you guys seen how much time Dak has to throw the ball? It's embarrassing to see what the type. But also, MB, check this out. He has time to throw the ball, but he has people he can throw it to too, as playmakers like CeeDee Lamb,
Brandon
other
Cooks.
receivers that he got, and Brandon Cook. So yes, you'll build your O line up, but eventually you're going to have to get a playmaker at receiver. I mean, it's going to have to happen. You can't continue to ride with what you ride with. You can have that wall right there and say, well, I can throw to anybody. I've only one person I've seen that can throw to anybody, and his name is Tom. What's Tom Brady's middle name?
Right. Yep. That's right. Thomas Edward Patrick Brady.
There you go. And Will Levis is nowhere near Tom Brady. So, in my opinion, I like the question. I still think, yes, we're going to get our tackle, but eventually you better go out and get you some speed, and you better go out and get you a number 2, almost a 1A, 1B receiver that you can throw to and get the ball to. That's the difference. D-Hop not going to be here forever. Traylon ain't doing nothing. What you going to do?
Right. Yep.
What you think, Hop?
Yeah, most of the teams that are good right now in the NFL, when you look at the Eagles, right, they got the best team in the league. They also have the number 1 rated PFF offensive lineman in the league, right? Kansas City's like number 2. San Francisco's number 3. The Colts are like 4. So all the teams that are in the playoffs right now, they have great offensive linemen. So the foundation is where it starts. Yes, you need skill positions, but we can't expect in 1 year, we're going to get offensive linemen, receivers, corners. It's not going to happen in 1 year. It's over time. So where we might draft heavy, say, and we get some good linemen, we still might struggle to receive it. Then you get them guys next year or corners this year. You know what I'm saying? So I don't expect the team next year to have a whole roll of just great players all over the field. It takes time. You know what I mean? But you got to pinpoint, what do you want first? Right. And I'm saying I think we need to address the front.
Now let me ask you this, Paul. So if you do get that wall, but that wall's not packed correctly, what do you do then? So say if we've drafted all this capital, we've drafted 6 offensive linemen, just hypothetically. We've drafted 3 offensive linemen in the first 3 rounds of the draft, and we go to year 3, and these offensive linemen are still struggling. Is it the system? Is it the scheme? Or is it the talent?
Yeah. I don't know about talent. Maybe it just depends on the players, but I would probably have to put that on scheme. Even when I look at the Titans this year, when I look at the offense, even when I look at Jalen Duncan, right? When I see some of the plays, even when Will Levis got hurt, he needs to be coached. Like you can tell he has ability, right? And not just him being coached, the scheme itself. They were running stunts, and I'm talking about the Carolina Panthers where guys were just going in free. It's like, okay, where's the help? And you got a guard blocking nobody. You have a center blocking nobody. There's guys running free. It's like, okay, that goes down to coaching. So it is a combination of, let's not forget now, Jalen Duncan is a 5th round pick, right? So it's a combination more, I think, more on technique and coaching, you know what I'm saying, and scheme, you know what I'm saying, more than anything. I would say down the road, like, okay, we got these guys now. We need to really look at what are we doing up front, you know what I'm saying, coaching wise, or the scheme itself.
You just want to make sure you don't waste it because we'll see. But LG comes through another. I think it still remains to be seen, but can we trust Carthon to get us to San Francisco level better? So Carthon hasn't had no time, okay? So that's one. He hasn't had a full offseason like he's going to have now in 2024. He has a bunch of money, and he'll have some draft picks. Now, if I'm looking at these draft picks that we got this year, Will Levis is pretty solid. Peter Skoronski's pretty solid. Tajay Spears is pretty solid. Jalen Duncan is the least playing, if that makes sense. Josh Wiley, you know, even though he's not flashy, but he has the potential to be pretty solid in year 2 or 3. So I from what I'm able to see, what I'm able to see from what he's been able to do with the little time he's been able to work with, get that man an offseason. I guarantee he gonna put something together. He's doing that now. I can already tell. He's a smart dude, man. I just think that he's still cleaning up John Robinson's mess, and it's gonna take a time to get the trash out the trash can. Just give it some time. What about you? Do you think we need to throw the towel in on Carthon already?
Well, people you're gonna have people say everything, you know what I mean? And so, and as I mentioned, if things to build takes time, just like it took John Robinson time to build the team up to a certain point, but he faltered eventually, but it's gonna take time. And when I do look at the draft, the one thing I'm noticing about this current draft that he's had, the players are starting to kind of get filtered into the lineup, getting some experience and those things. And I think that's going to be huge for them. But yeah, next year would be huge for Rand. I have trust in him. I've had trust in any GM that we had, especially starting out, because again, we hadn't had enough time. So the advantage that Rand does have, he does have some experience with 49ers. He's been around a winning organization. He understands the draft from that standpoint. Bring that over to Tennessee. We're number 1 in the league in cap space. We've picked up a few more draft picks. Let's see what happens. So, yeah. So, I think next year, I think it's going to be big. We should have a good amount of good free agents here next year, man, for the Titans. You got a new stadium coming. You got money. You got this great city of Nashville. You have a growing fan base. Hey, we're here, man. So, do your thing, Rand. Cook, Rand.
Yeah, we'll see. Titans Tiger says, do we draft O-line and pass up on a future NFL star? Great question. I think we answered it earlier. It depends. Let me say this. It depends on the draft position too. Because, and I think, Hawk, you've mentioned this. And correct me if I'm wrong, Hawk. I think you said you would rather pick a good left tackle at the top of the draft. What did you say? You mentioned something. What did you say?
Oh, well, as far as in the first round?
Yeah, you mentioned.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, right now we'd be drafting number 10 in the draft, and there's several offensive tackles that would be available. So yeah, I would draft them. And to say future NFL stars, what does that mean? Are we just going to automatically assume that players are going to be stars just because they're good in college? That doesn't always happen. But I would put my money more on a solid offensive tackle versus drafting a guy hoping he's going to be a star. You know what I mean?
Do you think that solid offensive tackle will be a star? I'm just playing devil's advocate there. If we're going to look at it that way, Hawk, then if we're going to say the skill positions might be stars and he might not turn out, can we say the same thing about the O-lineman too?
Yeah.
I mean, that can almost be any football player that's coming from out of college. You can really use that logic and say that, just because he plays offensive tackle doesn't mean he's going to turn out to be a great offensive tackle. You know what I'm saying?
That's correct. That's what I still would put trust in. Yeah, honestly, he doesn't even have to be a star. You know what I mean? As far as a lineman, if he's solid and he does a hell of a job blocking, okay, think about the tackles we've had. Will we consider Taylor Lewan a star? I don't think so. Now, he was good, right? You know what I'm saying? Right. Pro Bowl. Could we equate a Pro Bowl to a star? Maybe. I'm not sure. But you would think if you draft an offensive line that high, top 10, he should be a Pro Bowler. So I would anticipate a lineman. I would be more, I guess, I would put more trust in drafting a lineman to do well at his position that high versus a receiver. Unless he's unbelievable like Jamar Chase. But I think you have more tackles than a Jamar Chase. You know what I'm saying? In that early in the draft.
What if you were, just hypothetically speaking, and we got the 5th or 2nd pick? Would you pick Marvin Harrison Jr. or you pick Alt from Notre Dame? I'm still going with Alt because I think Alt's going
in the second pick. You say if we had the second pick, I would pick Marvin Harrison. I'm saying it has to be a receiver like that. You know what I'm saying? But we're saying NFL stars like a guarantee. But I'm not anticipating us drafting Marvin Harrison. So that's how I'm answering that question.
Right. Well, just in case, because you never know, right? You never know. We might not win the rest of our games, and we might have an opportunity to pick top 5. I'm just throwing it out there because if we do win, cool. If we don't, say if we do win and we don't make the playoffs, we kind of put ourselves in a silly position because then you're picking in the top teens or whatnot, which would be trash. But so Titans South, do y'all think Rand will bring in Higgins or IU?
We got a super chat too, Jacques.
Oh, we do. My bad.
Yes,
man.
we do. You good.
I'm trying to get everybody's question, man.
Yes, sir.
$1.99 from D Brown. Let's give him the boom.
Yes, sir. Brother. Yes, sir. All right, Derek Brown. Do.
Boom.
Derek Brown in the building. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, man. I got a lot of questions, bro. So Titan South. He says, do we think he'll bring in Higgins or Ayuk? Do you think they'll bring in at least entertain him?
So. Absolutely, 100%. Okay. Absolutely. That'd be silly not to. 100%. 100%.
Bang Bang Niner gang said they ain't letting IU go. That's what Bang Bang Niner gang said. Yeah. Shout out to the 49ers.
T Higgins. I think T Higgins he would love to stay with Cincinnati. There's no question about it. But to be like, hey man, you swing this and say, look, T Higgins, you're from Tennessee, bro. You're from East Tennessee, right? You love home, though. It's not Nashville, but you're in Johnson City. You're still in the state of Tennessee. You could be the number 1 receiver. Come on through, bro. Hey man, he would love to be that, man. He wants to be the number 1 receiver, man. And he can in Cincinnati. He can. And did you see the votes that the players had? Who they said was the most underrated player in the NFL? They said T Higgins, bro.
Well, good for T Higgins, man. Hopefully he can come if he decides to come here. I mean, do your thing, bro. I think players are changing their tune now. Either throw a bunch of money at them or they want to go to a contender. Like this is starting to turn into the NBA where they had these super teams, man. It's crazy. The Clanky Spoon says, "What up, Clanky?" He says, "Do you think this is Burke's last chance for the Titans?" Well, knowing the Titans' luck, Burks will go somewhere and ball out. Knowing the Titans' luck, he will go somewhere and ball out. I don't think that. No. I think injuries has really plagued his career, and you can't help a concussion, man. It is what it is. I think it's just right now he's still trying to get his feet wet because this is what Burke's second year.
Yep,
second year.
Mm-hmm.
Second year. I'm not giving up on Burks like that. Now the return that you got for the stupid trade that you did is always going to leave a stain on him, and it's always going to leave a stain on that situation. But to be honest with you, I don't think they're going to give up on him. Vrabel's not that type of guy. He's just not. What about you?
No, they got too much money invested in Treylon Burks. He has a guaranteed contract, and if he was to get cut, that would be they trying to have money. They would lose money by cutting him. They would lose anywhere between $5 to $6 million easily by releasing him early. He still got 2 years left on his contract, so absolutely not. He'll be back next year for sure.
So MB
unless he gets traded or something, but I don't think he hasn't proven enough to get trade value. So he'll be there.
There was one team when the trade deadline happened that did want Treylon Burks, and I don't know if it was the Green Bay Packers because they're the ones. Aaron Rodgers wanted to. He requested Treylon Burks. So Treylon got talent. Let me say that, guys. When he was at Arkansas, he got talent. It's just the circumstance that he's in. We're not that type of team to just pass the ball. We're just not that type of team. So if you're a receiver that's coming here, you have to expect that. It is what it is. Now it could change. It is what it is. But if I was a running back, I would love to come to Tennessee because I would have a better opportunity to make plays, right? So MB says you can't just expect to draft O-line. It has to be a combination of draft and free agents. You can't survive just drafting O-line. If they work out, you can't resign them. And I agree. I mean, you have, it has to be a combination. But the problem with the free agency this year, they're not as good. Okay, timeout. We got like 2 or 3 super chats. So D Brown comes with $1.99. He said we should consider on hiring Ken Dorsey. Let's talk about that. And then before you do that, we got another one from Damon for Derrick Henry. $22. Appreciate the super chats, gentlemen.
All right, yes, sir. Okay, so Derrick Brown, we got you first, Derrick. Do.
Boom.
Derrick Brown in the building, and that boy Damon. Do.
Boom.
Do.
Boom.
Damon in the building, heavy. Appreciate it, Damon. Appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir. So you think we should bring in Ken Dorsey, bro, and hire him as the OC?
No.
I agree.
No.
I agree.
No. So Buffalo has unbelievable talent. Man, I think Buffalo's the weirdest team in the league. Buffalo's a good football team. They are a very good football team. They're like number 3 in the league in yards, like, and even points. They score points. They just can't win. So no, I mean, I know Ken Dorsey ain't been there the last 2 weeks, but I wouldn't. No, man. Get somebody fresh, man. Get some fresh ideas in here if we're gonna do that, man.
I agree 100%. I want a fresh mind. It's weird, bro, but like I'm with you. I want a fresh mind, dog. I just you need something just new in here. LG come through the wood. He said, last question. It ain't got to be the last question. LG, keep asking him, man, bro. It never got to be the last question. He says, how you feel about our OC? Hawk, how do you feel about Tim Kelly?
I haven't been impressed with Tim Kelly over the last several games. I think Tim Kelly is creative. I do. And I think more than anything is I know the play calling has to be done based upon what's going on up front. And I think the offensive linemen have been so bad, it's kind of even difficult to sort of see what he can bring as far as plays. But there are plays that I've seen is like, very questionable, right? When it's, 3rd and 2 and he'll do something stupid, or if he'll, it's certain things is kind of like, that's not smart. That's not smart. And we play safer than what we need to be as well, too. So I don't like his trajectory. I think what he's doing now, it's a clouded smoke because of the offensive line. But to get to the next level, again, it's about development. Can you develop your guys? Can you develop these linemen? Can you develop Will Levis? Can you develop Tajay Spears? Can you develop them? That's what I don't see. That's the problem. That's what I don't see. So, Jacques, I don't know how you feel, man.
So shout out to Kim Moore Sports. He's been on our show before. He tweeted something early in the season when we decided to get Tim Kelly. He was not impressed. He kind of predicted this. He said, man, I talked to him the other day. He said, man, I knew this was going to happen. He said, I live in Houston. I know I watch Houston, and this is how Houston was. I don't see a difference between him and Todd Downey's offense and Tim Kelly's offense. At least Todd Downey's offense, when he was in the red zone, we scored points. But it was still bad. And it was mediocre. It's some of the same things I see with the bubble screens and everything in the wrong time. At least Todd Downey ran Derrick Henry. Tim Kelly don't do that. Tim Kelly does take the ball deep. Todd Downey didn't do that. So it's like, I remember you talked about the Hawk. It's like they got 2 different playbooks, right? You remember that last year? Mm-hmm. And so it's like, okay, did y'all swap playbooks? What is this? I don't really see a big change. When I think of a new offensive coordinator, I think of new changes, new schemes, new stuff. And what I think, I've seen the same thing, the same continuity. I'm not impressed. If you want to develop Will Levis, you need to bring somebody in here with an offensive-minded head coach that knows how to scheme and dial up plays and just do it the right way and plays to his strength. Right now, it's just not happening. To me, it's a scheme thing. It's a combination of talent and scheme. And your scheme is not matching with your talent. You don't have good talent, your scheme is trash. You're trying to run a scheme that you think that you have the talent and you just don't have the talent to run that scheme. So me, I'm not impressed with dude. I'm just saying. I think we talked about we should have looked outside the organization, and it just should have been different. So Ed Champ says, do y'all think the rumor about Carthon and Mike Vrabel are true? They're not getting along. That's why Mike Vrabel was trying to leave. I don't believe that. Do you believe that, Hawk?
No, I don't neither. And even if there's some truth to it, you don't have to always agree with your coworkers to make things great. Who's to know if every GM and head coach are like eye to eye, right? Sometimes that could be a good thing, actually, because you could actually see something, they see something different, then you can sort of coincide and sort of go, hey, or whatever. So I've heard those rumors too. when you lose, y'all, things come out, man. If we were winning, this would not be brought up. You know what I mean? We're losing, so everything's gonna be exasperated for sure. So
right. Stanley, I'm getting over a cold, bro. Hey, I'm trying, dog. I'm trying.
All right, Stanley Wilson. Do.
Boom.
Stanley Wilson in the building.
Yes, sir. So, Damon, you said, do you think Rand can get somebody from San Francisco? So, what do you mean, Damon, when you say, do you think he can get a player, a coach? What do you mean? Can you elaborate on that if you don't mind? I just want to provide some context behind that. Go Xavier legit or Malik and they're board. Hold on, let me see. Okay, here we go. We got JS asking a question. Damon, I'll get to you when you post your context in there. Do y'all think Vrabel will make changes for DC play calling? So do you think Vrabel will make changes? Are you saying will he take over the DC play calling, or are you asking will he bring in another coach? Just provide some context behind it if you don't mind.
Yeah.
And Hawk, we got another one from Kendall G. What up, brother? He says, how many more games do y'all think we'll win? Hawk, how many more games do you think we're going to win? I think we got to ask this question before.
Yeah, we did, man. We did. So, and I'm trying to remember my answer when I look at the remaining schedule.
You said,
for the
I
Titans.
think you said one.
I think I said one.
You
or
said one.
Did I say one or two?
You said one.
I said two because let me think. You might be right.
I thought you said one.
Because I think I said we win one game like against Seattle and maybe Jacksonville if they're not playing their players. So it's a big asterisk. So I'm gonna say I'm gonna stick to what I said, or I'm gonna say I really want to say one. I'm gonna say two, Jacques. What about you, Jacques?
I'm saying one. I'm still sticking to one. I'm still sticking to Carolina. I just don't think we're doing enough on offense to score enough points to keep the teams that we got to play. We got to play the Colts. Who we play next, Hawk? Is it Miami?
I'm gonna pull that up. Yep. Yeah. I'll be in the MIAO too, man. I can't wait. I'll be going to the game there.
Miami, chilling.
Man. Yeah. So we got the Colts. Okay. Yep. We got the Colts, the Dolphins, the Texans. The Seahawks
that were balling right now. Man,
they are. Texas again in Jacksonville.
Man,
dog. So I'm gonna put it. Hey, I want you all answer it in the chat. By the way, I'm gonna pull it up, Jacques. I'm gonna pull this up.
Okay, man. That's fine. Because I'm gonna go through this list real quick. Okay. Now, all these teams that you have up on that board, or if you about to pull up, score points. Okay. I'm looking at the Seattle game right now, ladies and gentlemen. And Pete Carroll is first of all, we don't give Pete Carroll enough credit. That man is a hell of a coach, okay? He got Geno Smith out here balling. They're 35 points up. Hell no. Can the Titans score 35 points? No. Hell no. Okay? Let's look at Indianapolis. We're going to find out Sunday. Houston, that boy CJ Stroud is balling like if I ain't seen it before. Killing the game, right? And I remember what was it? Vrabel wanted him. Okay, we heard about that. So now I understand why I doubted the young man. I'm sorry, CJ Stroud. I apologize. The Seattle Seahawks right now, 35-30. They beating the Dallas Cowboys. And Dallas Cowboys got a decent defense. And the Jacksonville Jaguars, like you said, Hawk, they might play their JV squad, but I still think their JV squad can beat us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What about you? I know you said two.
I said two. Can I say 1.5? Okay, let me look here. Okay, so look at all right. So the Titans are 4-0 at home. So that I'm trying to give that as an advantage for us. And of these 4 home games, I could say we could at least win one, whether it be the Colts or Jacksonville. Now I gave sort of the wild card game to the Seahawks. I was watching the Seahawks game before we got on the show. The Dallas Cowboys, they are a very good team, but the Dallas Cowboys only beat teams that have losing records. They have not beaten not one team with a winning record, and Seattle is bringing it to them. DK Metcalf is giving them problems, so we'll probably lose that one. That's the one I was thinking maybe we can win. I'm kind of starting to lead towards one. They're not beating the Dolphins. I don't think we're beating Houston either. Jacksonville, again, it just depends if they got their players out there. You know what I'm saying? They got their guys out there. We're losing.
You want to know what I want to say about Jacksonville? I think Jacksonville hate us so much, and we beat up on them so much. I think they'll play the starters on purpose because of that. Just in my opinion, I think they want to stick it to us that bad. to where they're like, no, run a 50 dog up on them if you can, right?
Yeah.
And again, I'm watching these teams, man, and they put up points. It's kind of scary to see. Like, this is actually telling. And again, William Jones, brother, Seahawks. Hawk, we ain't got the receivers to keep up with Tyreek Woodland. What's the kid's name from Syracuse?
David Witherspoon from
Jamal
Illinois.
Adams.
And Jamal Adams and guys, right?
We don't, but no. Okay, good luck. So I think the Titans are probably a 1-win team. You know what I mean? Just realistically, just looking at it.
Great question. Great question, brother.
Right, it was a real good question. Just want to see Levis and Stroud give each other the love like we might want in the future. You know, right now, CJ Stroud, man, I was totally wrong on him, man. And I apologize. I do apologize because I thought he was going to be trash, but I was totally wrong. And I was wrong.
Carolina was wrong, too. Carolina was
exactly.
Wrong. Yeah.
So, Damon, I think I'm coming back to your question. You said a coach when I say that from San Francisco. Okay. So you're talking about pulling from San Francisco coaching tree on there. I don't know who's on there. Do you know who's on their coaching staff that we can probably poach from if they want to? And I think somebody asked, too, would he change the defensive coach? I forgot. Who was that? I just seen it. Somebody said it. Okay. So, yeah, I don't think the way Vrabel is, and I think, Damon, you asked a question, and somebody else asked that question about changing defensive coordinators. No, I don't see Vrabel doing that unless he's on dire straits. Unless he's told by Rand Carthon.
Yeah.
Again, my bad, team leader. Okay, I appreciate it, bro. But yes, I don't see him. I don't see him doing that. I just don't. Unfortunately. In a wishful land, yes, we do need to change coaches, but just Vrabel likes continuity, and he likes just staying what he stayed with. So, what about you? Think he'll try to change, Hawk?
You talking about bringing people in from the 49ers?
Yeah, or just coaching.
Yeah. It depends on how the defense ends the season. You know what I mean? When you look at it statistically, the Titans really are not doing that bad of a job on defense. Statistically, they're really not. I think they're like 11th or 12th in the league in defense. So they're not playing terrible for to be like, oh, he should be fired tomorrow. I just think the Titans know. That's what I feel about, like, say, Jeffrey Simmons and other guys that have been talking. I think underneath it all, they say, hey, we're doing our best, though. We know we don't have just a lot of talent, but we're not doing bad. So I don't see them getting rid of Shane Bowen. I don't.
Right. So, I agree.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother. We appreciate that.
Thank you, Tiger. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And you know what? What was the defensive lineman that tweeted that? He tweeted
who got signed today by the Titans. Khalil Johnson.
But you know what, Hawk? You've been in locker rooms like this before. I've been in locker rooms like this before. We know underneath playing defense, if our defense is pretty solid, we know the problem. We know we just for a team effort, we're not going to say it out loud. We know that they're struggling, right? We know the offense is not that good. So we know, like, all right, cool. We'll rock with it. You know what I mean? Titans House says, do y'all think Tannehill goes to another team, or if he's unclaimed, do we resign him as the backup? Hawk, do you think we'll bring Tannehill back as the backup?
No, I don't. I think Tannehill will get picked up by somebody. There's a lot of teams with bad quarterbacks, man. So I think Tannehill will have an opportunity to go somewhere else. And no, I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? I don't think so. So
the Falcons. I'll say
I think the Falcons I got you. They might mess around and draft a quarterback, but yeah,
I can see that. If I was them, I would, to be honest with you. I'm gonna tell you this: there's a lot of great quarterbacks coming out this draft. Not saying they're gonna be nothing, but I'm just saying, you got the LSU kid, you got this kid from Washington State, you got Drake May, you got a couple that in my opinion, I think they're gonna be better than. I'm not gonna say better than this class, because CJ Stroud is really holding this class together when it comes to quarterbacks.
He is.
But when I look at this class, the class is deep. So if you want a quarterback and you got an established team like the Falcons, I would say pull the trigger, because I think the Falcons are quarterback away. The Seahawks, to me, in my opinion, I like Geno Smith, but I think they can lose another quarterback that's pretty solid. It's a couple of teams that I think are ready right now to be like, okay, do your thing, right? So
that's right. And I tell you, when I look at the draft picks of this year as far as quarterbacks, of course, CJ Stroud is number one by far, not even close at all, like zero. Will Levis is number two, if you ask me, as far as who's the second best performer of the draft, is Will Levis.
what about the kid from Chicago? I liked him. He was balling out.
He's not even on the field right now.
Well, he was when Justin Fields, he won him a game. I got to give him credit. He won him the
No,
game.
Justin Fields is not a. Are you talking about the backup guy?
The backup guy. Yeah, he was pretty solid. Will Levis is the second.
Yeah, he is. Again, I mean, another guy would just be Bryce Young. I mean, you got Dorian Thompson Robinson, and you got.
I like Dorian. Dorian's pretty solid too, man. He's lucky because he's going on a decent team. But when I look at that class, if you have to rank them, it is C.J. Stroud and Will Levis. But again, when I look at it, C.J. Stroud is miles ahead, and he's doing it with his. I think his tackle is out. Like, he's on another level, dog. Sports Tackler with the $4.99 super chat, man. Tired of this organization wasting talent. McNair, Vince, Mariota, Eddie, CJ2K, and now Henry. Let's give him the super chat and let's talk about it.
Sportacular. Let's give this picture up.
The show also.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Sportacular. Do.
Boom.
Sportacular in the building.
So I don't think it. Okay, so when I look at these list of names that you named, they wasn't a waste of talent. McNair took us to a Super Bowl. Vince Young's situation was a coach didn't want you, but the owner did. And I think developing him was Mariota, I could say the same thing. Eddie, man. Eddie did his thing. He rushed for 10,000 yards, Hawk? Correct me if I'm wrong. He's a he's a
semifinalist for the Hall of Fame.
Just about to say that. Yep. CJ2K will eventually be a semifinalist or a finalist in the Hall of Fame as well. So I don't think it's a waste of talent. I actually think those brothers were pretty good. I don't know, man. Do you think it's a waste of talent, Hawk? Do you think we waste talent with this organization?
The names that you see here are no better than a lot of other teams that got players that didn't win a Super Bowl either, man. So I don't think it's an anomaly where it's just different than anybody else. You got LaDainian Tomlinson, Antonio Gates, and them guys with the charge. I mean, I go all day on teams that had core players. Look at Philadelphia. They had LaShawn McCoy, Michael Vick, and Deshaun Jackson. Look at the
Terrell Owens.
Right, correct. And T.O., that's right. And you look at the Steelers. You had Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, and Ben Roethlisberger. They are all those names I just named are way better than what we have up here, man. So I get your point, Sportacular. You're right, but I don't think it's different, if that makes sense. Like, it's just us.
Do you think it's more of a development thing versus wasting talent?
No, I just think it's only one team. There's only one team that can win a Super Bowl every year, man. It's tough. It's tough.
Sports Tackle, I don't know how old you are, but if you were able to see that Super Bowl, it was pretty amazing, right? And that guy McNair, the best quarterback in our organization, I'm gonna say that because I know there was a big debate about that on Twitter, which I say Twitter's not a real place, but that man took us to a Super Bowl. Until any of these quarterbacks can take us to a Super Bowl and almost win it, you don't get that title from Mr. McNair. And Mr. 9 will always be my quarterback for the Tennessee Titans, and anybody in the comment section can argue me down. But until Tannehill couldn't do it, until Will Levis do it, or whoever that is, you can't take that title from him. Now, I know Tommy DeVito, he's pretty – we'll see what he got. You know what I mean? Hey, JS75, I like this.
Tommy DeVito jersey. Go ahead.
Let's see. Oh, you were – so, Titans South, you said I wasn't born. Okay, so –
wow.
Okay, so now you kind of dating us a little bit, bro.
Yep, that's right.
But as a matter of fact, in the comment section, how many people were born to see the Titans Super Bowl, or at least old enough to see it? And how many people were born after? Like, that's crazy because you don't get to experience what we experienced as early Titans fans.
It was unbelievable, man. I was a young adult at the time, man. It was unfreaking believable. Yeah, it was unbelievable. Yeah. I was in my early 20s. So think about you young in the city. The Titans just got here. You go to the Super Bowl the first year in the city. The city was crazy. The city was crazy.
Do you remember how the Titans got their name? They made a competition. I never forget this. I was in school. I think I was in the 4th grade. They had a competition in the city to whoever can name the Titans, the actual organization.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I actually did. I filled out one. Yes, keep going.
Yeah, I did too. They made us do it in school. I never forget that. It was
cool,
like, y'all go in there, y'all fill out what y'all think the team should be. And I mean, that writing something stupid. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know, but it was pretty cool. Now, MB, I'm gonna say this. Statistically, Warren Moon, yes, but Super Bowl, the ultimate thing is to win a Super Bowl. Warren Moon had 4 chances. He had 4 chances. Well, no, that was the Bills. Excuse me. Warren Moon had chances, but he couldn't get them there. That's the thing. Yeah. And he was a hell of a quarterback. He was. Let me tell
y'all a story about the '99 season we went to the Super Bowl. Now, again, I was in my young 20s. I was still in college, and a lot of these guys, a few years older than me, but we're all in the same kind of generation. Man, I would go out to a club and see Steve McNair there, Samari Rowe there, Javon Kearse, Eddie George. They was always out in the city all the time. They were like superstars. They were almost like gods at the time because, again, this is the first year an NFL team is in the city. There was no pro teams at the time in this. Well, we had the Predators, but we didn't have an NFL team, and all of a sudden the Titans got here, and then all of a sudden we go to the Super Bowl. So you would see these guys out, you'd be like in awe. Now today, if I see players out in the city now, I'll still be like, oh man, I ran into Jeffrey Simmons not too long ago, and you see him like, man, that's a big dude, right? But back then, I was younger too. It's like, wow, that's Samari Rowe, that's Blaine Bishop, that's Marcus Robertson, Henry Ford. Like, God, look at these guys, man.
John Thornton,
all them dudes.
And like you said,
he's in my frat, and I've met him on a frat level too.
See, that's crazy. And you're right. That defense, Javon Kearse, he had what, 14, 15 sacks that year? How many sacks did he have?
Something like that. I think 14. Yeah, 13 or 14.
He is big, bro. When I say hands long,
hands is like
big, dude.
Like he still looks the same in person. I told you I ran into him in Miami. I ran him several years ago in a club in Miami. I introduced myself like, hey, I'm 6'2". I'm like, Javon Kearse, they say 6'3", 6'4". No, he's like 6'5", bro. Like
6'5", dog. He is huge.
He is, man.
Again, and I feel sorry for Titans fans, the newer Titans fans and Titans fans that are young that didn't get to see. This is why I think me and you are more like, we've been here before. We literally have been here before. We have been in this situation where the Titans were 3-14. We've been in situations where when Billy Volek was the quarterback after Steve McNair got traded to the Ravens. We've seen the Rusty Smiths. We've seen tell me somebody else, Hawk. We've seen Clipboard G's. We've seen these teams go down like this, and then they shoot up, right? They'll go down, then they shoot up. So we know what needs to happen. But newer Titans fans that's new to this, it stings a little bit harder. It's like, damn, we trash, but we know. The older Titans fans know. We've been here before. We'll get back.
And in consecutive years of that too. We had 5 or 6 years. We were one of the worst teams in the league. Act like we hadn't drafted in the top 3 years in a row. So
when we got Pac-Man, when we got Pac-Man, a lot of people don't know that Pac-Man was drafted by the Titans, but of course you think him as a Cincinnati Bengal. He was a hell of a return man.
He was a hell of a returner, bro. He might be the best returner, maybe outside of Derek Mason. Pac-Man Jones was unbelievable returning the ball, bro. And he played a hell of corner too. They suck. The 05, 06, 07 Titans were terrible. That's the games they gave up. They literally just didn't even play. I was like, they're not even playing. I was like, I'm not even watching this. And I would go to those games. And I'm like, bro, this is bull crap, man.
Yep. Yeah, bro, that's funny because you can get a ticket just like that.
Right, that's right.
You can get it. You remember you had to call in or you had to go to the ticket out. Man, I'm telling you, seriously, man. So And Billy.
Go ahead, John. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna see where people, as far as their ages and things, how old they were. I'm trying to look in the comments. We got. Let's see. Stanley said he was 9. Okay, and cried. Okay, I got you, bro.
I cried too, Stanley. Stanley, don't feel bad. I was boohooing like a baby, bro. When he stretched that ball out, and I was, man, my tears was going down. My daddy had to hug me. I was so devastated, man. But I was also excited because I was like, we did this the first freaking year.
Yeah, man.
That we
were spoiled. We were spoiled. We were
early.
Because from that time frame, we won a lot of games, even up to about 2002. We took the AFC Championship.
Did you? Okay, so the Music City Miracle, and I hope you know. My stepdad was one of the original Titans season ticket holders. He's the original PSA holder. So he always tells the story. And I'll never forget we thought we had lost and we cut the game off, and we had a family friend. She called. She said, "Hey, cut the game on now." It's like, what's going on? Cut the game on now. And bro, I cried then. I'm not gonna lie, I cried then because I thought we had lost. And then after they showed the replay, I was like, "Oh snap, this is crazy." We went to the Indianapolis that next year, and I seen Eddie George break off that long run. I said, "Okay, we got us something." Then we ended up going to Jacksonville. I think it was Jacksonville.
Yes, we did in Jacksonville. Yep,
we beat the brakes off of Jacksonville.
So they lost 3 games. It was all against us, man.
Yes, we beat the skull, and that's when they had Mark Brunell, Keenan McCardell, Fred Taylor.
That's right. Jimmy Smith,
John,
Tony Baselli, Donovan Darius. I go all day. Hardy Nicholson, all of them. Yep.
Man, like we've seen some Jags teams that like, oh man,
that's right.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Yep. Bro, the city was electric, bro. Like leading up to that, dog. Leading up to that. I mean, the city was it. And you think about it, Hawk, the city was still small, right? It was the downtown was still small.
It was.
We had the parade. I'm telling y'all, man, y'all had to be here just to see it and just to witness it. And that's when new Titans fans, you either became a Titans fan or they pissed you off to the point where you hated the Titans.
That's right. Man. That's right. So many
of
you were young. I got to see one guy was saying, team leader was saying he's in his early 30s. So you still a young guy still. So everybody was young, you know what I'm saying, during that time frame. Yep. So yeah, and like I said, I was in my early 20s and I saw the Music City Miracle. I was telling you, Jacques, I was coaching a basketball game at the Boys and Girls Club. And and for some reason, man, I was watching the game. I was going back. They were really pissed at me because I was worried about the football game. I would give a damn about the basketball game. I would call a timeout and I would be like, "Hey, I'll be right back. Give me some water." And I would run and sit there and watch the game, right? But at the end of the game was already done. I was able to see the fourth quarter and the whole thing. I was jumping out. I lost. Everybody in the whole gym lost their mind.
So that's why the Bills hate us to this day.
Yeah,
that's why they hate us to this day. That's why they hate us, man. And
that's right.
Again, somebody said D Brown, he was 8. So you man, again, it was different. And then that following year, we were solid too. Matter of fact, that following year we were pretty good. I remember we played the Raiders in the AFC Championship game. Was it 2002 or 2003?
2002.
Yep. 2002. And that's when they went to the Super Bowl and they played the Buccaneers.
The Buccaneers. That's correct.
Yep. So Shelton Quarles went to my old high school. Yeah. Shelton Quarles, Whites Creek, baby, all day.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, matter of fact, he was around your time.
He was. He's a little bit older than me, but yeah, he was at that time. That's correct.
Okay. Yep. And so JS75, he bringing back more memories. Imagine if Jeff Simmons didn't ruin VY. Exact. I agree because he wanted Matt Leinart. I believe the story was
he wanted Matt Leinart. The USC connection.
And if y'all don't know, if you're new to the show, we did interview Vince Young. We might need to do that one day again because I know the interviews audio is kind of janky. Yep. So yeah, we might.
Vince gave us y'all. Vince Young gave us the real. I hadn't heard him talk that honest about Jeff Fisher on any other platform. He literally said Jeff Fisher hated my guts, man.
So he hated me. Can I tell them the story? The funny thing is, when you reach out to these people, you got to talk to their publicist. So we talked to their publicist, and she said, "Hey, make sure you guys ask some decent questions, right?" So me and Hawk going back and forth. We like, man, and Hawk like, man, should we ask it? I don't know, bro. Should we ask it? The elephant in the room is the elephant in the room. That's and right. Again, like Hawk said, he just randomly brought it up. All right, open the book, bro. Do your thing.
For it, dog. Do your thing.
Yep. Do your thing. So it was pretty good. Yep. Shout out to VY, man. He's a good dude, man. Real good dude. Good, solid brother, man. I love to get him back on the show, man, so he can tell his side of the story. And that's right. I get it, bro. Let me just say that if you still watch the show, VY, I get it, dog. I get it.
And if you are in the Austin, Texas area, man, go out to the Vince Young Steakhouse, man. I heard it's great. I got a homeboy that lives in Austin. He says it's really good, so that's cool, man.
So Blaze, Titan South said Vrabel doesn't like some players as a person or care about them. Levis is one. So do y'all think Mike Vrabel don't like Will Levis? Hawk, I think you spoke about the humble experience with him, and I think with Mike Vrabel,
Yep. I think, man, for those that have children as well too, especially sons, you want to compliment them on doing great things. For sure, you should give that positive reinforcement for sure. But if you know your child too, but some kids might if that's all you're giving them, then they're going to think I'm just always great. And it's like, no, let's slow it down a little bit. You're doing a great job, but I think these are things you can work on. That's what I felt that he was trying to do to keep. And to be honest, I mean, Will Levis, his play you can tell he's getting better. This is only his sixth game going into, and as a rookie. And, we look at his stats, 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. You could just tell he's getting better. You know what I'm saying? So it's working. It's working because I don't see Will Levis being big-headed. I see him hanging in there, getting hit and playing hard and things like that. So I don't hear people talking so much about Will Levis as much anymore. I don't really hear it as often. What I mean is, like, I don't hear people saying, "Oh, he's about to be he's the greatest QB ever." Like, when it first started, I think things have kind of leveled out, and so we as fans are still just wanting to see and things like that. But I think he's being steady right now. You know what I mean?
I'll say this: that wasn't his first choice, and I think he's going what you got to go with the cards you dealt, right? Yes, just to know that he wanted CJ Stroud and he seen something in CJ Stroud that we didn't see. And remember, Will Levis was a 2nd-round pick, man. He wasn't. He was projected to be the 1st-round overall pick. 31 other teams didn't believe in him. They probably still don't believe in him. So and there's a rumor there that Amy Adams Strunk pulled that trigger. It wasn't variable. It wasn't Rand. It was Amy's pick. So that's another thing. It's like, I don't think he hates Will. I just think he, like you said, I think he does it with the whole team, man. I don't think he has really a favorite, to be, in my opinion. I think he'll get into Derek. He'll call people out by name. I think that's just the Patriot way, and I think that's the old school way. And he's an underdog. So his career was underdogish. Like, that's not even a word, but he was an underdog in his career. And I think with that, he prides himself off of getting the undrafted guy a chance to where they can succeed. And so I think that's where he likes it and he rocks with it. So yeah, let me see. Wesley Yard. Well, Wesley Woodyard. Yeah. And again, that's why Deion said he'll never coach in the NFL. There's too many paid egos. And you know what? That's what you want. You hope he turns out to be your franchise quarterback. Again, he's showing progression. He's progressing each game. Have I seen enough? In my opinion, I still haven't seen enough. I still think he needs a better O-line. And then once he gets some weapons, then I can really see what he can do. He's doing a little bit without trash, but let's see what he can do. But it's still my same assessment, what I've seen from him, what I've seen in these games. He's going to give you some good. He's going to give you some solid. He's going to give you some, oh, what the hell? And he's really going to be like, oh, damn, why did you do that, right? That's just the decision making. That was the knock of him coming out of college. He's a gunslinger. He's going to throw that thing up. He's going to do what he do. And I think Vrabel is trying to coach that out of him. Like, hey, make the right decisions. What are you throwing it there for? What are you doing? So, again, I'm not putting the potential's there, but I got to see some more. That's just me. That's what I'm a type of person. I got to see something, man. And, again, I think sometimes we crown him too early. And like you said, Hawk, I don't see a lot of people talking about him. I still see some people having hope, but I still see the hype has died down because you don't throw 4 touchdowns. When they get film on you, right? And the deep ball is his thing, but that's his first read is the deep ball. It's like, hey, brother,
right?
You still got to learn how to read underneath. You're gonna take what they give you, take it and go, right? Yeah. So he'll learn that. He'll get better. With some more help. Oh, okay. So let's see. I seen people saying Levis is Aaron Rodgers 2.0. So Hawk, is he Aaron Rodgers 2.0, brother? Is he the next? He's the next coming.
I said no. It's gonna take time, but there's no question that Will Levis has talent. There's no question he has talent. So can we develop that? Can we build the right pieces around him, and can we help him as far as making sure he makes the right reads at times and things like that? So he's not Aaron Rodgers 2.0. I mean, people are gonna always say whatever. Yeah, I've heard people call whoever whatever. You know what I'm saying? So he's his own.
That's hope. And the Colts, if the Colts had their chance, I don't think the Colts have any regrets because I feel like Richardson is, to be honest with you, with Richardson, he's young, so you have time to get that juice out of him. And he was doing pretty solid. There's another one I was kind of wrong on. I thought he was gonna really stank it up, but now he's pretty solid too. I mean, the AFC South got some young quarterbacks that you can probably really shine a light on the AFC South. Thanks to CJ Stroud. If I got to rank them right now in the division, bro, C.J. Stroud, Trevor Lawrence, Gardner Minshew, and Will Levis. That's my foe if I got to rank them. And C.J. Stroud is like a top number 2 quarterback. Like he's over some of the best quarterbacks right now. So, and doing it with okay talent. And people want the hype, aka Caleb Williams. Well, I'm gonna say this. Caleb will, if he keeps doing what he's doing, he's gonna keep dropping. He'll drop in somebody's lap like the Steelers. You'll be, I don't think you want that. He'll drop in a lap like the Buccaneers. I don't think you want that. They got talent. He'll drop in somebody's lap. He keep yapping, which I think is probably a strategy of what he's doing. He keep yapping. He'll go. Somebody will pick him up. Go in the second round if you want to. Somebody will pick him up. He ain't trash. So I don't think people like his attitude, but he ain't trash. I'm gonna tell you that. He's not trash by a long suit. So I don't know. We need the right coaching staff to develop young players. We need a new coaching staff. Blaze, brother, I agree. But it ain't happening anytime soon. But I agree. I don't think you have the right people in here to develop the young talent. But what am I? I'm just a lonely YouTuber that's just trying to give some Titans content. But I agree with you, brother. I agree with you. See, I told you it's the attitude. I told you attitude.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like his attitude. And you kind of know why, right? I get why, but again, can't deny the boy got talent.
Yeah. He'll be drafted top 3 guaranteed, man.
He sure will.
He'll get drafted. So yeah, the attitude, I understand. I do get that, and I think he's been humble because I haven't really seen him talk too much because UAC ain't even winning. So again, losing changes your attitude in life, right? Losing humbles you. If you have a high altitude of I just know it all, I can do it all, I can do whatever I want to, and then you start losing, you start getting hit in the stomach, you humble yourself a little bit. You know what I mean? So yeah. So
with Bryce Young, I don't think Bryce Young. I think it's the scheme. I think you have the wrong people around him. If you're not a superstar, it depends on who's around you to develop you. The NFL is hard, okay? And there's only a few people that can come in and kind of get it like that. Andrew Luck was one of those people. He was rare, dude. If he would have had an offensive line and they can protect him, dog, he would have won a Super Bowl. And I hate the Colts. I hated him because of him, because we couldn't beat him even when he was with them. I hated him. But he's a rare breed, man. And if you don't have that, you need the people to develop them and get them right, man. So I don't like Bo Nix. Bo Nix is, man. Again, he's another one that we'll see. But
go ahead. I'm sorry. My bad.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go.
I was going to talk about Bryce Young real quick.
Go ahead.
So Carolina was ruining Bryce Young. Yes. Yes. That's why they fired the head coach, the quarterback coach, the running back coach. They were ruining him. And yes, there's no talent around him either. Carolina's terrible. They are a terrible football team.
Trash, bro.
So it's really hard to assess Bryce Young realistically because they're trash. Now, I think one thing I was surprised with Bryce Young, how well he ran the ball as far as scrambling, right? Getting out of the pocket. I was shocked. Yeah. I was like, man, he didn't get hit at all, right? And he is, and I think the bad part of Bryce Young, he's really a small dude.
Yep.
He could really look over the lineman and make throws.
He has to jump.
He has to jump, literally do this. Exactly. So they're gonna have to really change everything in Carolina to have things open up front, lanes to be thrown.
You funny because you said that about him, and when I was at the game, he literally did that, bro. Like he hiked the ball. He said,
"Yep."
I was like, you know who he needs to call? Doug Flutie. He needs to call Mr. Little Man himself. Shout out to Doug Flutie, bro. He played in a time where, man, football was hell, bro. So for him to, what was he, about 5'7"? How small was Doug Flutie?
Yeah, I don't know if he was 5'7", but he was short. He was maybe 5'9", 5'10". He was short. He was little. He might maybe 5'7". Maybe you might be right. So Doug Flutie was short.
All I know, he was so short, bro. But he was cold.
He was 5'10".
5'10". Okay. But he's still little. Still little. Yeah, that's hell, man.
Little guy. Yeah.
Still little. Like I don't know, man. Like you're saying, it again. I know we know why some players get the flack that they do. But let's see, is there no guarantee that a top draft pick will turn up to be an NFL superstar? Go for an O lineman. So again, that's the safe pick. The what you don't want to get into is if you get an opportunity to miss out on the players. Like the Titans have missed out on a lot of players. Like, I'm going to always go back to the Isaiah Wilson draft, and Hawk hit me up. He said, man, Justin Jefferson, never forget that. Justin Jefferson, man, you right there, bro. All the thing we got to do is go up and get him. Like, shit, Hawk, you right. All the thing we got to do. We get our pick. He picks by Minnesota. I'm like, damn. Did we expect? And I remember you even said it, man. Justin Jefferson is going to be a solid dude, and he's turned out. So I think the Titans, again, have missed out on talent, but again, you know what? He was part of the. Was it Rob Johnson? Rob Johnson.
It was Rob Johnson. Yep. It was Rob Johnson. Yep. That's right. That's right. Doug Flutie was the starting quarterback. He had gotten hurt, and they had a debate, and they put in Rob Johnson. That's right.
And they put up Rob Johnson. They showed
the Titans defense was real that year, man. Hey, the Titans defense was on, bro. The problem with the Titans at that time, we just didn't score a lot of points, but our defense was.
But you know what's crazy about that decade of the Titans? We can be down 34-0, and about the fourth quarter, they'll turn it on.
That's right.
And that was the running joke. The running joke was never cut off a Titans game because you never know when they will come back. You know what I mean? Right. Let me see.
We'll go about one or two more questions, y'all.
Yeah, you're right, Tyke. Yeah. We've been saying this for years, but they don't listen to us, man. They don't listen to little people.
The question will be, so the scout now is Rand Carthon. So, the spotlight is on him coming up next year. You know what I'm saying? So we have to see what's up.
Will Kool-Aid be there in the first round or second round? Do you think he'll follow the second round?
He'll be early first. Absolutely, he'll be there. Absolutely. Okay. Kool-Aid will be there.
If we get a lineman, you don't think he'll be there in the second round?
No. Yeah. No. Kool-Aid will be gone because it's only, I think it's like 2 or 3 corners if so far. Now again, we're a long way from the draft because you still got 40s, you still got guys that just kind of come out of nowhere, right? That could be added into that mix. But as of today, Kool-Aid's either the 1 or the 2 corner in the draft. So he won't be there in the second round. No.
You want those? Yep. I remember Kerry Collins taking us to that 10-0. Was that the CJ2K year? And we lost to the Steelers in the playoffs.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah,
it is.
We stepped on the yellow towel, and I thought we were there, man. I thought we had it.
Me too, man.
I was tired. Don't get me started on that year. Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. You know what? You're right. I was watching that game, William. DBs can't play DBs no more, and then yeah. But the reason why I was watching that Seattle game, I want to see what we dealing with.
Yep, that's what I was doing too, bro.
Man, dog, we have a man. And let me tell you who's gonna struggle: the receivers. The receivers, D-Hop gonna get locked up. The receivers gonna get locked up. It's not gonna be pretty, dog. It's not. And shout out again. Shout out to Pete Carroll. Shout out to the Seahawks. If Caleb Williams went to the Seahawks, they already got the pieces. You see, what's your boy you had us drafting? The receiver.
Jackson Smith-Njigba.
And was he balling number 11? That joker was balling.
Yep.
Balling.
I said they got a really good Seattle, kind of like the Buffalo Bills. They got a really good football team. Right now, this year just can't get it together. I just don't know. They will lose. They will lose.
So Mayo says, "Good show, guys. I'm confused. If we beat Indy, and then what do we try to pull a miracle comeback?" So, Hawk, do you think if we beat Indy, we can go on a Jacksonville Jaguars run? Do you think that can happen?
No, I don't, man. Right now, they only have us at like a 1% chance of making the playoffs. So I don't think so. I don't think we're a good football team.
I agree. We're not a good football team, man. I know the optimism. You wanna keep hope alive, but I just right now just dial it in. Hope that your rookies learn something this year and just try to look into the offseason crystal ball and see what we can do. And I'm gonna tell you, Hawk, this free agency, this offseason is gonna be really, really, really a spotlight on it, because if we don't do nothing in this offseason, it's gonna be a stain, bro. That's gonna be a stain. That'll be a stain. That'll be my first check mark on Rand. I'll be like, Rand, you had it, bro, and you didn't do nothing. I don't know what's holding you back, bro, but you didn't. At that point, I don't know what to tell you.
Yep. We'll go one more question, y'all.
Let me see. True, we ain't making the playoffs, but it's time to think about the offseason. Yeah. And then the scary part about it is, if you do win a couple of games, you picking that middle of the pack, and that really hurts you. What we talked about, Hulk, if you picking in the middle of the pack, you ain't really getting no talent. You better get you a linebacker. You better get you something that can help you out. But when you picking 19, 17, 15, you really, unless you get a DB or something, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
I don't know, but we've been here before.
Yeah.
Y'all throw one more question out there, man. We can go ahead and answer it, and go ahead and do what we do.
Mayo, that's a good point. See, that's what I'm looking at too. Is more the cap space.
Got 100 million?
Yeah, we got 100 million. So when you draft guys, we still need more picks. I don't think we have a 3rd round pick. I think, man, is it a 5th round? It's a few holes in the draft. The Kevin Byard trade helped us in the back part of the draft, but up front, the first 3, we don't have a lot of picks.
Well, think about it. They had a trade to the Ravens for Henry that we don't know nothing about, that Amy vetoed, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. What up, brother? What a scratch to win.
What's up? What's good, man?
He said y'all was riding high back in 1920. Now
Can you blame us? What are we supposed to say when we're winning? We supposed to say we suck? Of course we're going. Of course we were the number 1 team in the AFC. We went to the AFC Championship game. And we can Ravens in the playoffs. What else can we say?
But shout out to the Ravens, because they've been consistent for the longest.
Absolutely,
they ain't giving up on their dudes. Shout out to y'all, because that's one thing we tend to do, is give up on our people and ship them off and ship them out. At least y'all keep y'all folk. Y'all believe in and Lamar Jackson. Y'all believe in the team that y'all got. So but much as I don't like y'all, but I got to give you a big shout out for at least keeping your organization like this. And I think the Ravens, when was the Ravens? Was it 96 when they moved to Baltimore? Was it 96? Yeah. So they not as old as we are, but they've been doing it right. So I mean,
draft. Shout out to the Ravens. I hate the Ravens myself. I guess the number 1 team I hate the most is the Ravens. But I've always had respect for the Ravens. I mean, they won 2 Super Bowls, and the best players they had on the team were guys they drafted. And even this year, the Ravens are a problem. Their defense, I think they have the best defense in the league. It's the Ravens. And then you have not only good draft picks that they have, they've signed incredible free agents this year too. You got, they brought in Roquan Smith. And we got Odell Beckham. They got guys out there. The Ravens got dudes out there. At the end of the day, it's on Lamar Jackson in the playoffs.
It is on Lamar Jackson. You know what? He's throwing pretty deep. He's been throwing pretty decent. I know these past couple of games he's been kind of high, but he's been throwing pretty, like you said, this is the best he's thrown. So, and shout out to Harbaugh for, they wanted to switch him to, I think, receiver, and he said, "Hell no, you're gonna keep doing what you're doing." So again, shout out to y'all, bro. I don't like y'all, but like Hawk said, I respect you. I gotta give mad respect. Until we get on y'all level, I can talk my trash, but I can't really talk my trash. I can walk my walk, but y'all walk it better. So
that's right.
Bro.
That's right.
And somebody said the Philadelphia Titans.
Philadelphia Titans, yeah, that's true. That's true.
Up stuff to them too.
Hey, Kevin Byard was a big reason why they won that last game against the Bills, man. Kevin Byard played huge against the Bills, man. So shout out to KB.
Eagles fans were giving him that work at first, bro. He made a couple of mistakes. They were letting him have.
They made him step up his game, didn't it,
bro? They don't play. Them Eagles fans do not play, bro.
That's right.
They do not play. Yeah, hey, shout out to you, Scratch, man. Appreciate you watching the show too.
He must have changed his name. I thought is this Ravens B More 76 or is somebody different? I'm trying to remember because it looks like the same logo, but I might be tripping. But
it looks like the same. So again, shout out to you watching the show, man. You don't have to do that, man. You definitely show Ravens love and everything. So shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to everybody that watched the show, bro. Like
that's right, man.
Absolutely. Shout out that boy Engraving the Raven too, my guy. Shout out to my guy.
Yes, sir. Well, ladies and gentlemen, hey, listen, we want to say thank you all for rocking with us, man, for the show, for the Titans and the Colts pregame show. We hope you enjoyed it, man. Got you all involved. We appreciate everybody being involved as always. We really do appreciate the super chats as well. Again, the Titans do play the Colts on Sunday. So check us out on Monday. We're gonna do the post game. Of course, we'll do our post game on YouTube as well. So if you don't know, again, you can find us on Bleacher Report. Pull that on your app, type in your Bleacher Report, download the app. If you click on Titans, man, you'll see us. You can follow Jacques at Jacques Merrill, and you can follow me at Lorenzo_the Hawk. We got content on there. And as well, again, you can follow us on Instagram at Tennessee Titans Weekly. You can follow us on Twitter at Titans Weekly 24/7. And, man, look, we're everywhere, bro. We're on Apple. We're on Spotify. Hey, man, check us out, bro. Hey, that's what we do, Jacques.
That's what we do. Appreciate everybody, man, for watching the show, man. Again, shout out to the Titans family, because if it wasn't for y'all, we wouldn't be here. So, man, keep showing them love. Hey, thank y'all for the super chats as well. MB, shout out to you, brother, for watching the show, or whoever you are. Shout out to you for watching the show. I know, like you said, he don't catch us live, so we at least try to go live or whatnot. But, hey, on to these Colts, man, and, hey, take us out, Hawk.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, hey, have a great it's always been Scratch 20. Okay, my mistake. We had a Ravens fan that was on here that had the same looking logo. So, hey, shout out to you, Scratch 2 win at 28. Oh, we got a late super chat. Okay, we'll take that. Cedric Williams. Hey, bro. Hey, man, I'm gonna tell you, that's a special edition. That's at the end, man. He might get 3 booms on that one, Jacques. Do-do-do-do.
Boom.
Do-do-do-do.
Boom.
And do-do-do-do.
Boom.
Cedric Williams in the building. Hey, bro, we appreciate that, man. We really do.
Yes, sir.
Well, hey, have a great rest of your weekend. Have a great weekend. Let's beat these Colts, man. For the shoe, as they say. Nah, man, for the sock, bro, whatever. Hey, as we always say, and as we always do, Jacques. Facts.
No paper.